Good evening. We begin tonight with what has become, by any measure, a pretty massive protest movement. While it goes by the official name Occupy Wall Street, it has spread steadily and far beyond Wall Street, and it could well turn out to be the protest of this current era. The lyric from 45 years ago in the Buffalo Springfield song, For What It's Worth, could also describe this current movement right now. Once again, there's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear, but it encompasses a lot of things: anger, frustration, disenfranchisement, income disparity, unaccountability, and general upheaval and dissatisfaction. Again today, thousands took to the streets of this city. They're in the streets of other cities as well. It's where we begin tonight with NBC's Mara Schiavocampo in Lower Manhattan. Mara, good evening.
Brian, good evening. Today, the demonstrators behind me got a boost of manpower, joined by thousands of new protesters, including many from labor unions. For the 19th day in a row, crowds took to the streets of New York.
This is the beginning of the People's Revolution.
Thousands marching through downtown New York, the largest crowd yet, and more varied in age and background.
I came by here on day 3 and saw this, and of course I joined.
The group has not yet come together on what their message is.
We got sold out!
But union leaders who have thrown their support behind the protesters say they understand.
They've all got different kinds of issues. There's students who can't get a job. There's industrial workers whose factories have been moved to China who can't get a job. There's people who have lost their homes and can't find a place to live. And people are saying, like that movie, hell no, I'm not taking this anymore.
Today's union backing drew out people like Leanne Nikitovich, a single mother from New York.
I work more than ever in order to just live and keep the basics up, and I don't see a future, really. I don't know how I'm going to retire.
Protests have popped up all over the country. In L.A., even soggy weather couldn't keep people away.
You can't rain out an idea.
And in Chicago, anger at a sign posted in the windows of the Chicago Board of Trade. We are the 1%, mocking the protesters' call that they are the 99%, the vast majority of ordinary Americans who've been pummeled by the recession. The movement has even drawn the attention of those in Washington.
They blame, with some justification, the problems in the financial sector for getting us into this mess. And they're dissatisfied with the policy response here in Washington. And at some level, I can't blame them.
Experts say, though still largely undefined, the movement has a lot of potential.
Just as a show of support, to have thousands of people out on the streets agreeing with the fundamental demands and issues that these protesters are raising, I think it means they've already won.
Now, despite a heavy police presence, today's march was orderly and there were few arrests, a departure from last weekend when 700 were taken into custody in a single day. Brian?
Mara Schiavocampo starting us off Lower Manhattan tonight. Thanks.